carrying on from our punches theme, today I'm going to make a half round punch, and I'm going to use the same steel, 7 inches of spring steel, which I've already cut off the coil. Nice ring to that. And the first thing I'm going to do is the hitty end. I'm going to narrow it down. I'm having to use my bolt tongs because my other ones have bust. I haven't got round to mending them. So I'm literally just going to put a very shallow taper on the end you hit, just to stop the doming. So there we go, very shallow point. Start it off square, round it up. And some of you might say, well, hang on a minute, you did a half round punch the other day. That was a very tiny one. This is a much bigger one, and consequently it's going to require a different technique. So that's why you might think I'm doing the same thing again. There we go, nice little short taper. So now we'll get the other end hot. Now we're going to give it some beans. I might wire brush, get the crud off. Now we're going to give it some beans. I want a nice long taper on this one. Spread it out into a fishtail. As I say, make it reasonably long because I want to get it quite thin at the end. Let's see where we're going with that. It's a bit of a mess at the moment. I've mishit that a little bit. So I'll try and tidy it up a bit. I'll try and keep the end square. I'll try and keep it square all over, really. Nice and straight and square down the sides and square at the end. Don't quite know why I've got that corner missing, but I'm going to try and get rid of that before we go much further. Just try and knock it back into itself again. Try and get rid of that odd rounded corner. I think that's just about done it. That'll probably just about do it. Don't really want to go too much more than that. You can see I've gone down quite thin. It's probably just under 1/8 thick at that end. Onto the swage block, and I'm using quite a narrow cross pane hammer here. The blade of it's quite narrow and sharp. I'm just going to start it off with that one and see what we're trying to achieve, then go into a narrower slot. We're getting there. Right, now I'm using a different cross pane this time. This one's got a much wider, rounder, softer end to it. So I'm using that just to try and get rid of the sort of hammer marks that the sharp, narrow one put in it. That seems to have done the trick quite nicely. There you go, it's got rid of most of them. We've got a fairly nice round end. Just come down now to, I suppose, about 1/16 of an inch. These marks down the back here I'm going to try and grind out, but there's nothing there that's sort of sharp that's going to be a fracture line. I'll get rid of these as well. with a grinder, but I don't think there's anything there that's going to cause it to crack anywhere. It's all nice and smooth, and that's what you want really. You don't want any fracture lines. So I'm just going to grind it from the back, see if we can smooth it off a bit more. I've got a relatively coarse belt in here. Not sure what grit it is, but it's, I don't know, probably 120 or something. No, it's more than that. 80 maybe. That just about do it. Fairly uniform now. I just took any lumps and bumps out with the grinder. Now we're going to harden it, get it up to critical temperature, non-magnetic, in the oil, keep it moving, you don't get any hot spots. Must make a decent stand for that swage block one of these days. That'll be another little project. That drip dry. Alright, as with all of the punches I've made, you can see the carbon and muck out of the oil. I'm just going to grind all that off with my buffing tool. Now we're going to temper it, same way as I did all the others, just with a map gas torch, watching for the colours coming down. And today we're going to aim for sort of a brown, possibly purpley, bluey, around that sort of area. But again, I'm expecting this to come down really quickly towards the end. It'll take a while from the fat bit, and then as it gets thinner it gets quicker and quicker, so I've got to be on the ball to get it in the water. You can see it coming. It's coming really quickly now, and I've got to be quick. There, that's enough in the water. I think I probably caught it this time. So I've just buffed the colours off again. The next thing to do is try it. So let's get a bit of metal hot and give it a go. It's the same bit I used on all the other punches. And the hold down's not working. Useless piece of metal that is. Well, that's always a good sign. Your first hit and it's still in one piece. And if you've got it right, you should be able to sort of punch a complete circle, which that almost is. That ain't bad. That'll do for me. It's a little bit off, but neither here nor there really. And it hasn't put a mark in that tool at all. And I've used that, you can see how long I used that on there. Let's do another couple. See if we can get this blasted hold down to work this time. Only some days it works every time, and other times it will not work. There you go. Another couple of slots. And there you go. I'm quite pleased with that. I think that's another success. The tool's still in one piece. It ain't falling apart. So I'm pleased. So there you go. Nice and smooth all round. So there's nowhere it's going to likely to fracture. Hopefully. Got rid of all those lumps and bumps. Nice and smooth. Transition from the round to the square, or round to the round sort of thing. Not made it too thin. You can always thin it down, but I don't like to thin it down too much. There you go. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.